And alrighty, here we go. So welcome everyone to our team call. I'm excited to see some new faces, returning faces here. And I'm super excited for our guest speaker tonight. The way that we kind of met is actually super funny. We were both on a panel call for, I don't even know if I'm allowed to tell you this, but I'm telling you.
It's top secret.
Yeah, a top secret, like, panel call. They were discussing things that I guess I can't really even tell you. But wait, how am I going to tell them? It's fine.
No, I'm just kidding. It is top secret, but I'm sure you can tell them. Just careful that you don't go over any of your NDAs.
Yeah. Okay. So basically we were just on a call with some corporate people discussing up and coming product things that they had in mind that they wanted to release, that, we were just kind of discussing different things, and I don't know what I just did, but here we go. So we kind of bonded over the fact that we were really, really pushing for vegan performance line and dairy-free products, because a lot of our team is vegan and dairy-free, one or the other. And it's just something that, we both really wanted. So we were going back and forth, and no matter what they said, we're like, vegan, whatever you're making. So it was really funny. And that's kind of how we first, I guess, quote unquote, met on a call. And then we have met in person at events and summit and things like that. So I had reached out to her to see if she was willing to do a call for our team, because I know that probably, I don't even know percentage wise, but a large portion of our team is vegan, and a large portion of our team is very holistic and plant-based, and also into yoga. Like, there's many things that our team enjoys that Meredith kind of embodies and does a really awesome job of representing. Yeah, we're a bunch of hippies. So she does a very awesome job of representing that. And whether you fall into that category or not, I'm sure that you will definitely get value from this call, because she's doing awesome things in her business and helping a lot of coaches on her team have success and just crush it. When she sent me her income for like the months of January over the past couple years, I almost like pooped my pants and fell on the floor. But it's possible for everyone. So I want to pass it over to our guest speaker. She's a 9-star diamond coach. She's a 6-figure earner, clearly, as you guys saw today. And she is going to be you're going to share your story a little bit first, right? And then we'll do interview. Is that how you want to do it? Yeah? Okay, well, thank you for being here. We appreciate you, and the floor is yours.
Thanks for that awesome introduction. I'll share with you guys a little bit my story and how I got here. And definitely this call will be worthwhile. It doesn't matter if you're vegan or not. I'm actually not even vegan. So you're going to get a lot out of it. But I do best when I know I'm answering your questions. And that's why I said, let's do something that's like Q&A style, because it's worthless for me to talk if it's not meeting what you need, right? So a little bit of my story, just so you can get a background on me, know who I am and how I came into this, is I'm someone who's always been interested in health. Doesn't mean I've always been super healthy, but I've always been very interested in health. I grew up really sick. I had a lot of digestive malaise. I won't get into the TMI parts about it, but let's just say I spent a lot of time at Children's Hospital being poked and prodded. I've had organs removed, and I was essentially written off as lactose intolerant, and that was it. I had digestive issues all the way well into being an adult. And being on my own. And so my journey into really discovering holistic health was because I needed to cure myself. I was sick and tired of just not feeling good. So I kind of went down the same rabbit hole of stuff that other people go down. Some of it had to do with trying to figure out how to lose weight, how to break plateaus, all of those things. But then there was also the chronic issues I had with my stomach and my elimination cycle. And so for that, I really wanted to seek more healing with like food as medicine. So I studied as a holistic health practitioner. I ended up doing a yoga teacher training. I'm kind of like a Jane of all trades, so I like to have my hands in a lot of different pots. So I really went down the whole food as medicine kind of realm and into the holistic healing and healing others and paying that forward. I started a blog to talk about what I was learning with food, just to put the word out for anyone that would read it. And then through the yoga studio, I started to do detox and wellness workshops and whatnot, also to support that education of like, I didn't even know what I was talking about besides like, you know, I just, whatever I read in a book and that I put into action, that's what I was teaching. So I guess you could say I was coaching for years before I was actually Beachbody coaching, but I was doing what a lot of Beachbody coaches do, meaning that I was just starting to step into my own health and share that along the way. And so when I found my coach, I found her on Instagram. Her life looked very different than it looks like now. Some of you may know my coach. She does quite well for herself, but she didn't look like that then. She was living in Oregon, and she was like organic gardening, and she was talking about her hobbies and interests, and she was just getting into yoga. And so she was talking about these things, and they were all things I was doing, right? The organic gardening, we did that for food as medicine. The yoga, that's what I was teaching and doing. She was sharing little accolades along the way, or about her story, about what she was getting out of coaching. So she would talk about these fun fit clubs that she would be running in her garage so that people could come over and work out with her, and it kept her accountable to her health. She talked about how she would get a reward in the mail every single month simply for helping a couple people get started on their fitness journey, and how she was so massively under rewarded at her waitressing job or any other job she had before. Things that we can all relate to, right? The exact same things we tell you to share as a coach, which are how you connect to people. So she did a really good job at sharing her journey, which helped me feel very connected to her. She had a post. I don't think I was following her all that long. I'll be very honest with you. I was just at nights. I would come home from work. I taught 16 to 18 yoga classes a week and had a zillion side hustles. I wrote for another superfood company. I was teaching cooking classes. You guys, I didn't take any formal. I literally would, like, because I talked about health, people would be like, can you come over and teach me classes? I'm like, because I needed to make money. So like whatever I could do to make money that was under the health and wellness umbrella, I was doing it. I had like a zillion jobs. But I would come home at the end of the day and I would be exhausted, right? I didn't want to work out. I was in a hot, sweaty studio all day long, and I didn't want to give unto myself because I'd been pouring into others all day. And so I had some habits I was looking to break, and I also wanted to move my life and my career next level, because I was pretty much capped as a yoga teacher. I was earning at like the top tier of what you can really earn as a teacher, and the rent was barely getting paid and the bills were barely getting paid. So I was really looking to do something more, and I wanted it to be health and wellness, and I wanted to open an online platform, but I also saw that like I didn't have that money to pay for someone to build me a website or to have anything like bells and whistles or community. So it all looked very foreign to me. But I was following a lot of people that had that, so I could start dreaming. And so the call to action that my coach Amy put out was that she was doing a 60-day fitness challenge. The workouts were only 25 minutes, and there were X amount of spots left. I don't remember, just a few. And that like 3 of them, I want to say, were for individuals who wanted to coach the challenge with her and earn their spot in the boot camp for free. And I was like, okay, free, I can afford, number 1. Number 2, coach other people, totally something I want to do and I think I can do. And 3, I needed a 20-minute workout that I could do at home. So this sounded perfect to me. So I reached out to her. And when we started to connect, I shared with her maybe some initial goals. I forget what she had me email her. But when she told me it was Beachbody, I straight up was like, nope, no thanks. And not because I had any issues with Beachbody or any judgment about Beachbody. And I really want to share this with you because you've probably heard the saying, the fortune is in the follow-up. And it could not be truer than true. You, as a coach, it is your job to coach other people past their hurdles, roadblocks, past their excuses. So right from the get-go, in my inbox, when she heard my first excuse, hesitation, or no, she was quick to challenge me. She knew that I wanted to, I reached out for a reason. She knew I wanted help with something. She knew I wanted to see some results. So why was I hesitant to Beachbody? I had even shared with her that I had done Beachbody workouts before. My first infomercial purchase was Turbo Jam. And I fell so in love with it. I bought the entire Turbo Jam series on DVD. And then I fell so in love with that I bought Slim in 6. And I fell so in love with that I bought Yoga Booty Ballet. And then I bought P90X. I had like every Beachbody workout, and I'd done them all, and I loved them all, and they helped me lose a massive amount of weight. So why was I hesitant? Not because of anything that anybody put out on social media, right? There's all these stories you could create in your head about like what might have happened, why I was so hesitant. I was hesitant solely because when I reached out to her, I wanted to coach something. I wanted to be part of something. I wanted to have this online thing that was me and branded, and I wanted to learn from someone, all these things I can learn and brand myself. And then I found out it was another company and another brand. So she had to get me past my high horse. She had to get me to understand, listen, these are plug and play tools you can use to build your own brand, but more importantly, what you need to do right now is work on yourself. You told me you have some specific goals that you want to work on. Why don't you just get started, enroll as a coach so you can earn your investment on your challenge pack back for free? Who do you know that would who would want to join this challenge with you? Who are 3 friends of yours that would want to join in with us? Like, let's just start there. So she used the whole like coach script, money back guarantee, all those things. Cause I was straight up like, oh, I don't want the superfoods. Like, I've got my cabinet is full of superfoods. I work for another superfood company. Like, I don't need whatever you're selling, lady from Instagram. Like, I literally was like, nope, nope, nope. And she's like, money back guarantee, you can drink your whole bag and send it back. It's part of the challenge. It's the way, it's the bundle you get, and it's how you get in my group. And all you need is your first few friends to join you, and it'll be paid off. And I was like, okay, because this girl needed a transformation of her own. She needed something new. So I bought in, I got my challenge pack, $180. And like a week later, it showed up in the mail because it wasn't digital back then. And I was really excited to start the fitness aspect, but I wasn't excited about Shakeology, which is funny because you guys know I come from a very, my background is all health and wellness. But I thought from the get-go, I'm like, whatever she's selling, this crap cannot be good. And when Shakeology came in the mail and I saw the ingredient list, as you know, I was totally floored. Nothing artificial, no fillers. Like every incredible superfood that's hard to find was packed in there. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll give it a go. And literally 3 days into drinking it, a lot of the issues, and I know I can't claim it's a cure. I don't think it's a cure-all, but I'll say it filled in a lot of the gaps in my diet because 3 days into drinking it, a lot of those issues that I'd been dealing with for at that point 37 years of my life all of a sudden started to correct themselves. 3 days. Like, that's bananas. That is bananas. I'm like, my boyfriend was calling it crackology because my energy was like crazy high. I was feeling better. I was doing more. He's just like, I don't know what you're drinking, but like, it's clearly working for you. So that was the beginning of coaching for me. And before I even got my challenge pack in the mail, I was already inviting people because girl needed to get that $180 investment covered. Because remember, I was a yoga teacher. I didn't make any money. So I was already emailing my friends, texting my friends, reaching out and saying, hey girl, I just signed up for the 60-day challenge. I'm super excited to do it, but I would love some accountability partners. Can I ask if you'd have any interest in doing something like this with me? I was sending that out before I even got the DVDs in the mail because my butt had to get that payment covered. So obviously, as you know, with your first 3 people that sign up, you get your costs basically back. Here's what happened for me. This was like the light bulb moment when I was like, oh, I'm going to build a business. Every time I helped one of my girlfriends get started on a challenge pack, and it's continued to happen as I was getting results, and people were like, girl, you look good. And I'm like, yeah, you got to do this with me, right? Every time I started to help someone get started on challenge pack, I was working with T20, which was promoted at 180. It went up to 210. I would get $70 commission. Every time I taught yoga, I made $69. So I started to say, do I want to teach 16 to 18 yoga classes a week and be as burnt out as I am right now? Or do I want to start helping more people get into my challenge group, get on a challenge and be in an accountability group with me and start changing their health and making a bigger impact? And really quick, I saw every challenge pack I sold as one less yoga class I got to teach. And that's really the power of how my income started to build. So I started to hustle challenge packs, and I told my coach, till the day is done, I am never doing the network side of this business. I don't know what it is. I think it's great for you and other people, but there is no way in the world I will ever build a team or ask people or rank advance or do any of that. I basically told her, like, I'm going to make my million selling challenge packs. And she was like, good luck with that, sister. So had no intention to build a team, which I've later found out is like the most fun part of this business and where all the relationships are and why this is happening, right? Like when you get on a really fun call with other rad people that are on the same trajectory as you and interested in the same things as you, and like you get in on all the entrepreneurial cool shiz, like that happens when you build a team. So at first I was hoarding coaching because I had put out this perception that other people were going to not want the thing that I was also so scared of. But what ended up happening is, remember, T25 is a 60-day challenge. And after 30 days, my coach reached out and said, hey, about that emerald. And I was like, oh no, girl, I'm not building a team. And she's like, but you know your girlfriends that are doing the challenge with you, they're getting a second shipment of Shakeology. And when they get that, they're not getting the same savings you are. They're not saving $32. Rather, they're paying you $32 more. They're paying full price, and that isn't even going to Beachbody. $32 is going in your pocket. And I was like, oh, like I'm taking my friend's money. And real quick, I realized I was like, oh, I have to offer them the coach a discount because they're as poor as I am. And that's not fair that they're paying extra and it's just going to me. Like one of them was even cleaning at the yoga studio for trade. And I'm like, oh God, I got to invite her to be a coach. That is literally how the beginning of my team built, by like the feeling of like, I have to invite people because I don't want to take anybody's money. And then I realized that people were really excited about the coaching thing, just as excited as I was. And that they were like, this is so cool. I get to actually help other people, whether they make money or not, right? Like I get to actually help other people. I get to step up as a coach. I get to share what's working for me. I get to step up in the challenge groups, like all the things, right? I get to share my journey. It got really exciting. And from there, the team started to build. I will say my team took a bigger build, and my seriousness, my why, kicked in about 3 months into my business, 4 months into my business. At 3 months in, I was already diamond because I was upgrading my challengers. And I was also starting to then invite people in for the coaching opportunity to sign up as a coach and like, you know, do the thing with me. But at about 4 months in, I had a really bad chronic back condition that got really bad. I ended up herniating a disc so bad that I got a huge tear. It hung down my spine. It compressed my nerve tissue, and I got what's called drop foot. So I was completely paralyzed in my left foot and had no motor function in my left leg. So all of a sudden I lost my job. I taught 16 to 18 yoga classes a week, and I couldn't walk. I was bedridden until I could get in for surgery. And I couldn't get in for surgery until I saw all the right specialists, got the MRIs, did all the things, which meant that I was bedridden for like a month. I didn't walk. My boyfriend literally had to carry me to appointments, load me up in the back of his station wagon. I couldn't have crutches. My girlfriend donated a pair to me. But if my pinky toe even brushed the ground, I was in so much severe pain I wanted to die, right? Very bleak time. And when you work paycheck to paycheck and you can't work for a month, there's a problem. Especially when you know that you're about to go into like a $20,000 surgery or however many thousands of dollars it was. I don't even know, right? Like whatever that cost, that overhead was, all I saw was like, how am I going to do this? And then I looked at my laptop and I'm like, this is exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm literally sitting on this business that I can work from my laptop, from my living room, on the couch. And I have to lean into this moment. And that's the moment I started to reach out to people with a different intention. It was no longer about, hey girl, want to join our challenge group? We have a 21-day boot camp coming up. It was like thinking about who are the people that inspire me? Who are the people I thought would be really good coaches? Who are the people I thought would really enjoy doing this with me? And reaching out to them and saying, hey, I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing lately, but XYZ, I'm earning an extra $100 a month. I'm earning an extra couple $100 a month. We're coaching these boot camps. You're the first person I thought of. Our team is expanding. You're the first person I thought of. This is why. Insert like flattery, right? Like you've always inspired me. You're like the best boot camp coach I know. You're blah, 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 whatever it is. You know, would you be interested in looking at this opportunity? Or would you want to hop on the phone and talk about this? Would you want more information? It was a short, like 4-liner. And it basically just said, hey, been thinking about you. Hey, don't know if you've seen what I've been doing. My team is expanding, or the team I'm on is expanding. We're looking for more coaches. You're the first person I thought about. It's helping me earn an extra couple hundred supplementally. Would that be of interest? Would that be helpful to you? Do you want to chat? That was it. And then a minute somebody responded, and most people were curious, because let's be real, if someone you know, respect, and like reaches out to you and says, hey, I'd love to talk to you about this. Would you be interested? You're probably going to go, yeah, I'm open to opportunity. Like, when opportunity knocks, my ears will at least open up. So I would just get on the phone with people right away and connect and say, what are you doing? How are you? You know, learn about them, find out as much as I could in a short amount of time so that I could figure out where their pain point is and why they would most be interested. Like, how are you liking your job? How is it going? What are you doing in the free time? I could find out really quickly. Do they have like 3 jobs to make ends meet, right? Like, all the quick questions, so that I could say, hey, I want to let you know what we're doing right now and why I think you'd be a really good fit for this, and would you be excited about it? Because here's the thing, when you lead with the coach opportunity, the challenge is the fallback. So that means if somebody says, oh, I can't do what you're doing, or like, oh girl, no, I don't know what that product is. I could never endorse something I don't know. Then I would say, well, of course, why don't you get started in the challenge with us right now? And if at 2 weeks in you love it, we'll upgrade you and you can start coaching with me. So the challenge was a fallback, because they're going to have to sign up as a challenge for a coach anyway, right? So the challenge was the fallback. So either way, it's a win, because the third scenario, it's still a win. If they say no, or they're like, I don't know, I'm going to have to think about it, that's still a win. You know why? Because I just planted a seed. I just planted a seed and spent time connecting. So now they're going to watch me. And I'm the person that's going to sit back and say, I shouldn't say sit back. I'm going to sit up and say, watch me. If you doubt that I'm going to succeed at anything that I'm serious about in life, watch me. That's the kind of person I am. I think that's the kind of person it takes to build a business. You need to be willing to prove people wrong. You need to be willing to prove yourself right and prove people wrong. So if you don't have belief, like if you're like, oh, I got to prove myself right, I'm not even sure I can do this, then you've got to muster up the belief, because if you don't have the belief, you're not going to do it. But if you have the belief and you have the willpower, the personal strength and determination to say, watch me, and use that fuel as fire, you will build something incredible, because you will be passionate and you will work hard. And that's all that takes, is a little heart and a little hustle in this business. So with all of that shared, that's really how my business built. And then from there, I went elite in 1 year, and we finished that year number 11. It was my first full year in the business. And then we were elite, I don't even know the numbers, top 100 for 5 years, elite for 5 years. So we keep doing it over and over and over, because that level of drive and passion and lust for life and helping people find freedom has never escaped me. And how I approach this business and my connection with people is always the same. It's always with coaching. Anybody that even comes in for a challenge, like if somebody's like, hey, I'm interested in the challenge, one of the questions I send them is, have you considered joining our influencer team? Or have you considered joining our fit family and helping people while you're working on yourself, or supporting others in our community while you're working on your goals? Because at least I'm planting that seed. So even if they say, no, I've got 30 pounds to lose and like, I just don't think I'm there yet, or like, I was a coach before, I don't like it, I just want to work on me, I don't want any pressure, I'm going to say, okay, no worries at all. I think this could be a really good fit for you, at least to heighten your accountability. But we can talk about it later if it ever comes up for you again. But I've planted the seed. So all I've been doing for the past 5 years, with every single connection, with every single invite, with every single question, is all I'm doing is planting seeds all day long, every day. Every social media post, planting seeds, right? So all you're doing is just tending garden all day long. Okay, ask me some questions.
Well, that was an amazing story and motivational everything. Like, that was just amazing. I have a whole page of notes already, so thank you for that. I have a list of 8 questions. We're probably not going to get through all of them, so I'm going to make sure that the ones that are of high interest that everyone wants to know, we do get to. So First, we have a question from one of our coaches, and she says, you do such a fantastic job at branding yourself and setting yourself apart as a coach. So how do you handle conversations with people who find out that it's Beachbody and then get skeptical or hesitant? And do you come across this a lot? And if so, how do you work through that? I know you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but I don't know if you had anything else to kind of add to that.
Yeah, that's such a great question. Most people I meet are skeptical because I was skeptical. So you're always going to attract who you are, right? I was not the girl that was like, yeah, sign me up. Perfect. Here's my money. And I don't run into a lot of people like that. Most people are skeptical. And yes, a lot of people don't understand because I didn't understand either. So I just share with people my experience. So if somebody says, and this is where I think it comes from, is if you get to a space in a conversation where you're talking to someone and you're like, oh, hey, do you want to check this out or whatever? And then they find out you're a Beachbody coach. They're like, oh, it's Beachbody? No, thanks. No, thanks, right? Like most people don't lean in. Again, they don't coach. You've got to coach people from before they hire you as a coach. Because if you can't coach them to get over their excuses and past their closed-mindedness, then you're probably not going to be able to coach them on their fitness and health. You're not the right coach for them, right? Because they've got mindset stuff they need to work with, and all you're trying to do is work with health and fitness. So the first thing I do, if somebody says, not for me, it's Beachbody, I've had so many people ask me about that. Like my first question is going to be about the hesitation. I'm going to say, oh, I totally get that. I'd probably be annoyed if people were asking me about it too. Can I ask if you've ever done a program or have you ever worked with a coach, or is it just because so many people invite you? Like, I'm going to ask the question that nobody wants to ask so I can have an answer. Because if I'm really connecting to my girl, right? Like here's the thing. If you're talking to everyone, you're talking to nobody. So know your niche market. Do you guys have that? Did you do the color wheel exercise? Mm-hmm. So the color wheel exercise is key, because what I have found in that color wheel exercise, I think there's like 10 or 12 pie pieces, but when you write in them, let's be real, by the end of it, you're probably, some of the things are like crossing over. Like mine was like Ayurveda, food as medicine, like, all these holistic healing. And I'm like, oh, that's all under the same umbrella, right? So by the end, I had like 5 or 4 things that were like my predominant things that I needed to share. So those are the things that are my brand. Those are the things, the women that I'm looking for are those same things. So if I'm really connected to my core market, I'm going to know how to talk to her, because my market is wellness. It's not really fitness. It's people who love wellness. And that means nutrition. It means gut healing. It means a lot of things. So if she is talking to me and she thinks I'm a Beachbody coach, like I'm a Beachbody coach at Pump Iron, right? Really quickly, I may have already kind of asked her if she's ever considered joining our wellness team. Because if she's very earthy, I'm probably not going to call it a fitness team. That wouldn't fit her brand. Right? So I have to think of my languaging from the get-go. And then if she says, no, it's a Beachbody thing, and I can go, oh, I totally get that, because you probably were asked to be on a fitness squad. That's why I asked you if you wanted to join our wellness team, because I saw your vibe and I saw you were all about holistic health, like the women on our team. So like, you've got to make sure you're talking to your person and you understand how to talk to your person. And then outside of that, if they are your person and you're already like, you're not giving me the answer I need, I just show them how I use these. I use my bunny ears, like 2 bunny ears, but quotes like plug and play tools. I'm going to show you how to use the exact same plug and play tools that I have used as resources to build my online business. So I'm able to montage my expertise and my knowledge as a wellness professional with these incredible plug and play tools that help me set people up for success. Universal tools, right? So be careful with your languaging. Don't sell Beachbody. Sell how powerful of a leader you are and how you're going to show somebody how to have success with the tools that you're using. Does that answer that question? Mm-hmm. Or is it too esoteric?
No, I think that answers the question. You can get a head nod from, yeah, definitely answers that question. I like what you said too about like the language. Like language is everything. Like I've invited the same person, or not just like one specific person, but I've invited the same people to one type of fitness group and they said no. And then I invited them to, I just kind of changed how I was doing it. Like, oh, I'm doing one all about like mantras and affirmations. And now we're like, oh, that really vibes with me. Like I'm interested. And like, it's literally the same thing, but you don't know that, you know, like it's just a different way of talking about it. So it definitely does make a difference for sure. Yeah. Okay. So next question. Where's the other one that Valeria asked me? I think it was this one.
Valeria is my new best friend, by the way. We're twins.
Did you meet her on Instagram? Yeah. Where'd it go? Okay. So oh, what the heck just popped up? No. You've created a ton of star diamonds and leaders on your tribe. Where and how are you finding them? And what are some things that you do that have helped you have so much success with helping your coaches grow? Like, what is your role in their success?
Okay. Have I really helped that many diamonds and star diamonds grow? Here's the thing, okay? I will never take credit. I just said this in a training call earlier today, so one of my answers will be constantly providing training. But I will never take credit for the success of any woman on my team. Every single leader on my team is a leader because she decided to be. Just like Carolyn decided to be. Just like I decided to be. My sponsor is amazing. If you don't know my sponsor, it's Amy Silverman. She's freaking bananas amazing, right? All she did was believe in me and plug me into the resources, the tools, and inspire me. She trailblazed for me. That's it. She didn't hold my hand. I can promise you. My first year, I was trying to hold everybody's hands because I was like, well, she didn't hold my hand. And I had so many questions and I was so angry about it. Like, why, when she knows everything, doesn't she answer my texts? Like when I write her a message, all she says is go look in that Facebook group. I'm like, ah. And then I learned, because you got to be resourceful, right? If you're going to build a business, it's up to you. So I can't take credit for anything. All I can take credit for is going back to the first thing that I was saying is like, not talking to everybody, talking to my people, probably talking to more people than you are, more of my people. So not just talking to everybody, talk to a lot of people, I plant a lot of seeds. I lean into hesitations. I ask questions. I get to know people, but it's just belief. It's belief. It's showing people like, hey, I am completely confident that this can change your life if you let it, but you have to do the work. I can't do the work for you. And then plugging them in. So how do I plug them in? I'm always kind of upgrading my onboarding process. I'm upgrading it again right now. I'm always upgrading it because you always got to be just like, as an entrepreneur, you're always going to be improving your systems, right? Always improving. But essentially, like right now, I'm having women start. If they sign on as a coach, I have them do a 21-day challenge. So I'm not before I was just plugging them into whatever we're doing. Now I'm having them do a 21-day challenge because we're about to do our reshoots of 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme. And I want them either to have a result from one of those that they can show people, or just a fast result that they can show people so they can get started. From my sneak peek groups, I'm trying to get women started right around the same time. So they're all in a 21-day program together. And the ones that want to build a business, I can put in a little message thread together with me or with some other accountability partners so that we are all sticking together. The ones that are doing it for discounts maybe aren't going to go in like an accountability thread, like a business accountability thread. The first 21 days of their internship as a coach is to do their fitness program. And they know in that first month, their goal outside of doing their fitness program and showing up and getting results is just to start sharing on social media their journey with their fitness program and to find their first 3 friends, which will help them then uncover their investment costs and help them get into Success Club in their first month and potentially rank advanced to Emerald. That's what they're doing in month 1. The first email I send them is a welcome to our accountability group. Here's how to get plugged into BOD. Here's how to get plugged into our accountability group page. Once they go through Beachbody On Demand and look at the material and do their first 1 or 2 workouts, then we can get on a call together and we can talk about either like for me, it's very much catered for each person. If they're like, I really want to focus just on my fitness journey right now, then we're going to mostly talk about their nutrition, making sure they're on the right plan. And I'm going to reinforce like, hey, if you want to get your supplements for free by next month, this month you want to make a list and start connecting with your friends and asking your friends to join you. So I'm always going to have them doing that. And if they're like, I'm ready to rock this month, I'm ready to roll, then I'm going to say, plug into our self-paced trainings. I'm sure you guys have some videos and stuff that you plug people into. I'm going to say, plug into our self-paced trainings during this first 21 days. Find your first 3 clients to invite them to our challenge group. And then next month or in 21 days from now, you can join our live training on bootcamp. Meanwhile, they'll go into my team page. They will have a blueprint for success, which is basically a document that says, here's the team pages you need to get on. Here's the team calls you need to get on. Here's how you set up your coach online office. Here's how you set up your direct deposit. Here's how you do share cart. So it's up to them to train themselves. I mean, we have additional resources. We have an external team website, but the reality is like, they don't really even need to use it if they don't want to, right? So it's just all about creating a system for success and then always revising that system to make sure it's working.
Sorry, I was muted and I tried to talk and it didn't work. Yeah, I love what you are talking about systems. I think systems are huge. I don't know, are you in Bob's legacy leadership thing or no? No. Where he does a lot of he talks a lot about systems and having systems for onboarding and systems for, recruiting and things like that. And it just makes it so much more duplicatable and easy for like a new coach to come on and just literally do what you just did. So I think that is a huge part in the success of like any coach. And I think that, everyone's system's obviously different because it's whatever works for you, but you found obviously something that is working and it's creating the kind of success that you want in your business, and it's working for your team too. So it's definitely working because it's working for both of you, not just one for you. So that's amazing. And,
oh, can I add something else to kind of go back to that beginning question you were asking about developing all these leaders?
Yeah.
You guys, it's no matter what I say, no matter how far I go down the rabbit hole, it's always going to come back to how many people you're talking to and how many people you're inviting onto the team. You always need to be bringing new people onto your team. And that's where I think most people hit their walls, because they get so frustrated. They get frustrated at the no's. They get hung up on that they're not recruiting enough. They're not talking to enough people. They don't know enough people, right? Those are self-limiting beliefs. I don't know enough people. Like I said those things too before I started to get over my damn self. But in the end, 80% of your income when it comes to the network side of the business will be created by 20% of your coaches. 80% of your income will be created by 20% of your coaches when it comes to the network side. So it's not that you need a zillion people on your team if you're getting really quality people. But if you're not getting really quality people, you need to be talking to more people. And I'm not saying quality people like I know a lot of quality people, but that doesn't mean that they're hitting Success Club, and they could, but they're not, right? And that's a difference maker. Like if I bring someone on my team that has a ton of potential, but they're not doing jack diddly squat, that is not the 80% of my 20% of my team that's going to bring in 80% of my income, right? And when I say that, it means they're building a team. And do I help people on their team? Yes. Am I always doing stuff for trainings and mentorships for the entire team? Yes. As you do more, as your business grows, you do more. You do less and you do more. But it's talking to more people until you find your 2. You're always looking for your 2. You're looking for your 2 to get to emerald. You're looking for your 2 to get to diamond, right? Because you got to have your 2 emeralds. You're looking for your 2 to get to 2-star so you can open up your next CBC, right? And then you open up another CBC, and then you're looking for your next 2 because you already have 2, you have you, and then you're looking for your next 2 so you can get to 5-star. The places you want to go are emerald, diamond, 2-star, 5-star. And then from there, you want to build a lot of duplication. You want a bunch of 5-star diamonds in your organization.
Mm-hmm. Everything goes back to that two bunnies, to be mine, the two. It really does, though. And the way that you broke that down, I think was just so super simple and something that like everyone on this call, it'll kind of click for you, seeing just how simplified this business really is. Just always looking for your two, like even hitting diamond, you're just going to hit emerald again and again and again and again. It's always two people at a time, two and two. So.
Oh, can I say one more thing? Sorry, yeah, I'm on my third energize. Okay. My top coaches on my team came with me from the beginning. So if you're a newer coach, this is exciting, right? And I mean, like in your first couple of years of building. So I have a coach on my team who happens to be a top 10 coach. She's someone I personally sponsored. She was in my challenge group for, I want to say like 14 or 18, 16 months or something like that. Didn't really make a peep in my challenge group. We chatted in private messenger. I invited her every single month to be a coach. She kept saying no. But she watched me from being a brand new coach to about a year and a half into my business and watched my income build, watched what happened outside of just my challenge group. Like she saw me sharing my life on social media. And one day when I put an income card up and she saw like, she's making money and I'm swimming over here in debt, doing what I'm doing, like maybe I need to change the conversation. So she was one, she's a top 10 coach. So you can imagine she's one of my 20 percenters that brought in 80% of my income. And then on the other leg, one of my very first coaches, who at the time wasn't even like really a friend of mine, we were acquaintances. She came in. I didn't even know how to sign her up as a coach. She signed herself up. And I was like, oh, you're a coach? I think I have to send you a form for that. Like, I didn't even know. I was such a new coach. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but let's figure this out together if you're going to have fun with it with me. She hit the ground running with me. We went elite together in my first year. And then we went elite together in our second year of our business. So she built an entire organization, right? But those girls came from the beginning. They saw me from like the guts of it, from like, I don't know, up from down. And I'm just on my weight loss journey to like building a business with me. So if you're still in your early parts and you're just now getting excited to hit the ground running, like this is an exciting time because this is when people start watching you and you have the opportunity to really inspire some people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, when I had the most personal growth and team growth was in that early stage, my like first year and a half or so, when I had girls who were running with me. And I mean, they're all still here and they're all on this call, but that's when our team had the most growth, when we were all running all together, excited, not knowing what the heck we were all doing, but we were all doing it together. And I think that's a really important piece of this business, that you don't have to know it all. You don't have to have it all together to be successful at this. You just have to have that belief like you were just talking about before, and you can conquer the world and do whatever you want to do with it. So,
and excitement. I think that's what runs out is like, if you've been on the team for a while like that, if you were one of her leaders in the beginning and you're kind of like, maybe the excitement ran out. So this is where personal development is huge. I've learned so much from doing the PD work. When I say PD work, I don't mean just like read a book. Like I go to immersion seminars. I went to go to UPW with Tony Robbins. Have any of you guys been to that?
Mm.
Oh my gosh, go. If you want one of the best investments of your life, I think it's like $450. So for Tony Robbins, that's like cheap, okay? Because Tony Robbins is like 10 grand to go to a thing. I think it's like $450. It's a weekend immersion seminar. So it's intense because you're there all weekend and you have to play full out. You do crazy things. I thought I was going for my business. I walked away erasing tapes that were playing in my mind about things that were holding me back, relationships, stories I was telling myself for years and years and years. And when I was able to get rid of the mental blocks, those mental blocks that I didn't even know had anything to do with my business, so many more things opened up for me, right? With my relationship with my dad, like letting go of the stories, all these stories. So you have to be willing to do this deep personal growth work. And what happens, and I learned this at Tony Robbins, is like this happens at a new job too, right? When you're at a brand new job, it's like, you don't know what you're doing. It's super exciting. Everything's new. New is fun. So it's like, boop-a-doo-doo, you're going up the hill. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm learning things. Because when you're learning, you're growing. So it's like, oh, I learned how to use a fax machine. I don't even know if they have fax machines. Oh, I learned how to use a computer. I learned how to do whatever, right? You're learning. And then all of a sudden you stop learning and you're like, oh, this isn't so fun anymore. it starts to go downhill because you're just kind of like doing at that point, right? It's like employee mindset. I'm just punching a time clock. I know how to run the fax machine. I know how to use it. I'm just doing, right? That's what happens here. But what always happens if you stay the course is you hit a space where you start learning again. So if you stay the course at the job and you do good, you're going to get a promotion. And guess what? They're going to give you a new assignment. You're going to be like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning again. This is fun again. And the same thing happens here, right? If you keep learning, if you keep growing, and you keep saying, I'm going to show up every single day and work my butt off until I build this team, the team all of a sudden is going to build, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, okay, now my team is building. Now I'm doing something else. Now I got to go next level again. And then the growth starts. But most people, when they go down the hill, they don't come back out because they're not doing the work between their ears on themselves and in their heart. And if you're not doing the work here and you're not doing the work here, you're going to flatline, right? You're going to flatline. You're going to give up. So if you're feeling unexcited right now, I would say you really need to do some soul searching on if you want to do some immersion seminars, like what you're going to, like if you don't have your ticket to Summit, you best be getting your ticket to Summit right now. If you've never gotten a Success Club point on the board, this month you can hit Success Club and start your Success Starters program so that in 3 months from now you're going to Summit, right? Yeah, UPW is in LA the week before something is in the chat box. There's so many opportunities. But go. Okay, sorry. I'll step off my soapbox.
No, you're fine. It's great. Just keep going. keep giving it to us. No, she said it's the week before the cruise.
Oh, the cruise. You guys probably thought I was going to come in here and be all nice and flowery. That's not me. I'm not nice and flowery. I'm just real.
No. Well, we have about 8 minutes. So do we have time for maybe like one more question? Because I do want to respect your time as well. I know you've got some stuff to do, and then I'll be on your call later. So let's see what we've got here. I think this would be a good one. So do you want me to ask you both and you can pick which one you want to talk about? Because they're both really good. So one of them is you've ascended at an incredible rate in this business, and to an outsider watching this, it would seem like it was easy for you. So what would you say your biggest challenge along the way was? Or what was the best advice that you've ever gotten from your coach or another coach or mentor in this business? So you can pick. I know they're both kind of good.
Those are hard questions. Okay, wait, what was the first one again? Like what was my biggest hardship that nobody sees?
Yeah, like just like people from an outsider looking in, like it seems as if this was easy, but we all know it's not. Mm-hmm. So what was your biggest challenge along the way, and what did you do to overcome that?
My biggest challenge every day is a challenge. But seriously, those are really tough questions. Everything's a challenge. What I constantly see, and I hear this sometimes from my coaches, and I'm like, I'm going to hang you for saying that, is they're like, but it was so easy for you. I'm like, there was nothing easy. There was nothing easy. And that's why it's like, nothing in life that's worth it is easy. My first year as a coach, like, and this isn't because of coaching, because people are like, oh yeah, because of coaching, you almost broke up. Like, no, me and my boyfriend had relationship issues. And then I started on this personal growth thing, and that really got in the way because I was growing and somebody wasn't. And so I moved out after my back healed. And, like we've been together 7 years. We're back together now. But the problem is, like, nobody sees, like, I mean, I shared about it. I broke up. But like, I'm not going to sit on social media crying. I'm going to move my life forward because that's the person that I am. Right. So it's like, I'm working, I'm doing all the things. Like I did all the late nights. I've done all the things. I've stuck my foot in my mouth. I've sent people messages that said script number 1 and the wrong name in them. I've done all the things. I've done it all. Right. So what was my biggest challenge? It's all been a challenge, but I will say, like, you have to be willing to be fearless, and you have to be willing to fail forward. So many of my accomplishments were all out of failure, right? Like, why was I 5-star? Because I didn't hit 15-star. Do you know what I mean? Like, why was I number 5-time top 100? Because every year that I tried to be number 1, I wasn't. Like, everything came from a failure, right? So they were all challenges. Everything's a challenge. And then the best advice anyone ever gave me, I think really probably to have a long-term vision, in this, and to stand by that vision, and to do this my most authentic way, and to not be scared to do it my most authentic way. Because the reality is when I started 5 years ago, I like to think, this is probably not true, this is my ego, I like to think that I was one of the few people that came in that was like yoga and like wellness and like food as medicine, right? And so all I saw around me were girls that were super fit, that were like doing all the, and now I do that. I'm fit now. But at the beginning, like, I'm like, that's not my brand. And I was trying to be somebody that I wasn't. Like, I saw people doing the ab shots. I've never had abs, but I would do the ab shots. And so my friends were like, what are you even doing? Because, like, I don't even know who you are. And that was the worst, right? That was the worst, to be somebody I wasn't. And I was just, it's not that it wasn't her. It was just that I was trying to be this person that I was trying to become. So I think, having that long-term vision, not being scared to fail forward, and just like deciding to do this the most authentic way that I could, which for me means leading with the nutrition aspect, food as medicine, talking about all the things that I love, that resonate with me at my deepest core, and knowing that like fitness is a part of it, but it's not all of it. And I think a lot of people lead with the fitness.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing your heart and sharing so authentically. I mean, I didn't expect anything less, because that's just the kind of person you are. But I believe that we're out of time. And like I said, I do want to respect your time, but I know that everyone on this call is just super grateful that you are so open to sharing. And I know that this is going to be a call that we talk about over and over and over again. So thank you for being here. I do want to take a photo, if that's okay. I'm going to stop the recording so it's not like